So this is a real mask off moment for people to understand and realize. It's not really much so for me because we already knew how complicit the Trump administration is when it comes to Israel. We know that people like Miriam Adelson have completely bought him out. But this is a mask off, not because of just the Trump administration, but a really mask off moment to describe almost like Trump is doing a skit here of how your entire political system is orchestrated. So there was a celebratory dinner at the White House for the first night of Hanukkah, and President Trump was there giving this address. And of course, being the first night of Hanukkah and for the holiday season, you get a surprise treat. You get a surprise visit from who other than the biggest donor of the Trump administration, Miriam Adelson. And Trump is congratulating her on the fact that she bought this guy out. That Trump is Miriam Adelson's bitch. That's pretty much the case here. And the way that Trump describes this is almost like a skit. Because not only is this a mask-off moment that the entire Trump campaign is against America, a real mask-off moment to show how complicit and corrupted they are, but it really just describes the whole political structure in America. So take a listen to this.
Miriam Adelson, do you want to come up, Miriam? Come up here, Miriam. Miriam gave my campaign, indirectly and directly, $250 million. She was number one. When some
So he just says it right in the open. He just says it right in the open. Miriam Adelson gave me $250 million right in the open. Indirectly, directly, whatever the case. She gave me so much money. It literally is like a comedic skit to show you how corrupted to the bone the entire system is. That even a repugnant game show host like Donald Trump, that people thought he will never get to become president, he will never get into politics. Well, now you know why he's in politics. Now you know why he became president. After they tried to do unlawful tactics, they tried to impeach him so many times, they tried to discredit him, they tried to, throw him under the bus, they tried to assassinate him. And now you understand why he's the president. Because Miriam Adelson just gave a buttload of money, and he's bragging about it out in the open. Out in the open. Man, nothing says the first night of Hanukkah like talking about your pimp. Because that's what this is. That's what this is. She gave me so much money, I couldn't believe it. Listen to this again.
Miriam Adelson, do you want to come up, Miriam? Come up here, Miriam. Miriam gave my campaign, indirectly and directly, $250 million. She was number one.
She was number one. She was number one. She showered me with so much money. This must be what, soulless corruption politicians consider porn. Clearly. It's almost erotic. Oh, she just came in and showered me with millions of dollars, and then I get to be president and screw over everybody. Oh, so wonderful. Miriam Adelson, you're my hero. You're my guardian angel. Because that's how Trump is describing someone like Miriam Adelson. And you recall back in 2016, when he was running, when he was playing the populist card, when he was building up that character to make us believe that he was, make America great again. He built up that persona that tricked a lot of people, including, someone like me, who thought maybe there's a chance. He used to go after the other politicians for being corrupted. Now look at this. So it goes to show you that no matter who's in office, even a repugnant game show host like Donald Trump, the system is corrupted. That's why you get shit like this. That's why this is happening. Not just a Trump thing. It's a political thing. It's the fact that the United States White House, all your Congress, all your politicians, all your representatives are completely captured. Completely captured. And if they're not captured yet, there will be. They will be. Because they get blackmailed, deceived, or they get kicked out of office. Or worse. That's how sick this corrosive system really is.
When somebody can give you $250 million, I think that we should give her the opportunity to say hello. And Miriam, make it quick, because $250 million is not what it used to be. Okay? Hello, darling. Come on.
$250 million can't even get you a good burrito at Taco Bell. What? Why would you even say that? Why would you even say that? It's again, it's a mask off moment. And it's not just a mask off moment for the Trump side of things. It's a mask off moment to show you how politics actually works. That democracy is a joke. That you get the illusion of choice, but in the end, people like Miriam Adelson have these puppets by the strings. People like Miriam Adelson or the military-industrial complex or corporations or AI. Why do you think Larry Ellison owns an entire sixth of the U.S. media? Why do you think he was allowed to buy TikTok? Oh, because China? We're worried about Chinese spying? No. Because they need a Zionist to capture TikTok and the media to encapsulate people so that they can build their narrative and brainwash people, manipulate people. They have to capture and control you. That's how disgusting politics really is, folks. So it's not just a mask-off moment for Trump. It's a mask-off moment of the entire orchestration. And as I said, the one benefit of having Trump as president is that this is like the cancer sore or the cold sore that exposes the true intentions behind the deep state, the true intentions of what the entire orchestration is really about. Just like how in the later years when Biden was really showing his colors, showing his dementia, and people are starting to question, well, who's actually in control of the White House? Because clearly the president is not healthy. Clearly the president has no functionality whatsoever. So who is making the decisions here? And this goes to show you that Trump, yes, he's the president. Yes, he has slightly more cognitive dissonance than Joe Biden, but he's not in control. He's not in control. He gets bought out by that. He gets bought out by same as everybody. So let's more of this.
Incredible woman with a great husband, a man that loved Israel.
Well, Mr. President, when you were in the Israeli parliament and you gave a speech and you saw me from far away, at that time I came with a scooter to the parliament just to hear you. I wanted to hear you alive. And then you say, Miriam Adelson.
My God. Can they just get a room already? Can these two just get a room already? I mean, if Trump's going to cheat on Melania, of all people, I get she has money, but, it's kind of going in a weird direction there. You would think you'd choose someone better than the Wicked Witch of Hansel and Gretel. That's what I'd see there. That's what I see there. She looks like the cartoonish villain you see in a Disney children's story. She looks like a fairy tale witch. Of course, she would go after someone like Hansel and Gretel because those are German names and, not to be discriminatory, but someone with that sounding name is obviously a bad guy. Obviously. Just like how people think of me as some sort of Russian spy because I have an interesting, lucrative last name. Or they just assume everybody with the name Muhammad is some sort of a terrorist or some sort of Al-Qaeda spy. Al-Qaeda works for the United States and is a orchestration creation in the United States, just to let you know. Goes to show you the whole system is against you. But here's some more.
And I stood for a second, but it was so painful, so I sat. Then you screamed, "Miriam, stand up!" And I wish you would have known, but I stood up and heard all your compliment, and thank you very much.
I saw you back there standing.
Yeah, you saw me.
She stood
Thank
up
you.
bravely.
And now I met Alan Dershowitz, and he said the legal thing about 4 more years, and I said, Alan, I agree with you. So
now she's talking about her meeting with Alan Dershowitz. Alan Dershowitz, the disgraced lawyer who is friends with Jeffrey Epstein, who we just saw in the Epstein photo catalog. We know all about Alan Dershowitz. And Miriam and Alan are working together to give Donald Trump 4 more years. Not because he's so good for America, but because he's an easy puppet to control for the state of Israel. Do you see how these monsters don't give a crap about you whatsoever? Not even the people in the room. You are all pawns. You're all cattle to someone like Miriam Adelson. He doesn't give a crap about anything except the fact that she's a rich donor. She bought off a politician. Donald Trump's all giddy about it. Oh my God, I got $250 million. Ah, that's so wonderful. Stand up, Miriam. I saw you from the back there. As soon as I saw your decrepit, fraying hair, made me think of Bonnie Tyler's song, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Oh, think of the beautiful bombs we can build together. Destroying the lives of Palestinians. Turning the Middle East once again on fire. $1 trillion warfare. Oh. It's like a fairy tale. It's like the honeymoon. Ugh, so wonderful. So now, her and Alan Dershowitz are talking about the legality of getting Trump 4 more years. Which I don't know if that's possible, because in a legal sense, you can't allow a president a 3rd term. But considering the fact that Trump has had non-consecutive terms. He ran in 2016, he lost in 2020, and then won in 2024. They're saying that there's a possibility. But again, it's not because he's doing good for America. He's doing good for Israel. That's the only reason they want another 4 years. That's the only reason Trump is even president, folks. The man that they tried to assassinate, the man that they said was an absolute buffoon and should never be in politics whatsoever. That's the only reason this man is even around.
we can do it. Think about it.
Alan's here someplace. Where's Alan?
Alan is here. Oh, he had a flight. Alan is here. Think about it.
Thank you.
Maybe I will be the first one who told you, or second. Yeah.
She said, think about it. I'll give you another 250. But
I will give.
There's that joke again. Well, if you give me another $250 million, maybe I will consider a 4th term. Because I'm as empty and soulless as everybody else. I don't give a crap. I was never for America. I played you like suckers. Just like every goddamn politician has done since at least the 80s. Probably before then. I would argue that maybe after JFK got the bullet, that people, got scared straight into this direction. That you have owners, they control you. And this is proof of it. This is proof of it. That even an so-called outsider like Donald Trump, who I use that term loosely because really Donald Trump is kind of the insider-outsider. Like, he plays that character of being an outsider, but, the Clintons got involved with his wedding. He's been involved with politicians beforehand. So he's a real estate tycoon. He's one of these venture capitalists. He's definitely got his hands grumpy before in politics before even mentioning about running for president. So this idea to think that Donald Trump's still some sort of outsider, that he's working, 4D chess against the deep state. No, he is the deep state. He is the deep state, because no matter who's at the podium, they are going to capture them. And if they can't capture them, they're going to smear them. They're going to do unlawful tactics against them, which they tried to do with Trump, to the point of even trying to assassinate them, which they also tried to do with Trump. But now they captured him. They found a way to capture him. So methinks that all the rhetoric you hear about, from MS, like, all of it's just fake. It's all theatrical. It's all theatrical, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not the first time we have seen this. Not the first time we've seen this. And this is why I'm not shocked that he would openly say that, especially to a room full of people celebrating Hanukkah. Nothing says the holidays like, I'm a corrupt bastard. And so should you. Give me the money, Miriam. Give me the money. Show me the money. It's like the new game show host that the White House will start proposing. Who can be bought out by a Zionist first? But here is Trump again. This is a couple of years ago, actually. This is from the Israeli American Council. And again, he's just going to reveal how bought he is.
Just as I promised, I recognized Israel's eternal capital and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Jerusalem became the capital. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. Miriam and Sheldon would come into the White House probably almost more than anybody outside of people that work there. And they were always after, and as soon as I'd give them something, always for Israel. As soon as I'd give them something, they'd want something else. I'd say, give me a couple of weeks, will you please? But I gave them the Golan.
Again, he's making a mockery about how corrupted the whole system is. So, as disgusting as people think that, Donald Trump got bought out by the Adelsons, the thing, again, the reason I'm showing you this is because this is a full mask-off moment to reveal how corrupted the institutions are. Oh, two billionaires were able to just walk in the White House and demand things. Like, how crazy that is. As crazy as every administration previously to Donald Trump. How do you think we're in this mess? How do you think we got here? And they just allow it because corruption is what makes the grotesque White House function. Because let's face it, none of these people care about you. None of them. None of them whatsoever. And it's become more and more obvious. It's become more and more obvious that now the, people that voted for Trump, because they saw how pathetic Kamala Harris was, they saw how, bought off the Democrats were, and they thought that maybe Trump with, RFK Jr. and having individuals like that, Tulsi Gabbard, that maybe there was a chance. This is a revelating moment to show you that no matter who's in power, no matter who the person is, the entire system is corroded. Just like Kash Patel running the FBI did not make the FBI better. It just revealed how the FBI truly functions. It's against you. None of these people are on your side.
On Heights, and they never even asked for it. For 72 years, they've been trying to do the Golan Heights, right? And even Sheldon didn't have the nerve. But I said, you know what? I said to David Friedman, give me a quick lesson, like 5 minutes or less on the Golan Heights. And he did. And I said, let's do it. We got it done in about 15 minutes, right? Yeah.
So that was it. They walked in there, said, here's some money. You got to do this favor. And Donald Trump says, oh, yeah, teach me about the Golan Heights. We'll do it. Imagine if it was that easy to, raise the minimum wage, provide people health care, get better education, build proper infrastructure so planes and trains and and rail systems don't explode. Imagine if it was that easy. Just walk in the White House and say, hey, I'll give you some money here. Maybe you do something for America. Do something for the average American that's getting screwed over again and again. But anything for the Adelsons. Anything for the Adelsons. God bless Miriam. Unbelievable. But now we're again showing you that this is how they function. So here's Thomas Massie. This is even before the clip we just showed you. Trump asked dual citizen Miriam Adelson, a billionaire running nasty ads against me in Kentucky, what do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer him. He says that might mean she loves Israel more. This isn't AI, it's real video. So a bunch of billionaires are gathering together to go after Thomas Massie because Thomas Massie seems to be the only people between him and Marjorie Taylor Greene that's actually focusing on domestic issues. Now, you could disagree with things that Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene went on. You know, they both, Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for the big, beautiful bill. I disagree with that. But they seem to be the only people focusing on America, being American representatives, and not sticking their nose so far up their ass to only talk about a foreign nation like Israel. So, of course, because Thomas Massie is not a cult follower, is not cattle that someone like Miriam Adelson could buy out, they're running attack ads against him because they want him out. Donald Trump wants him out. The Adelsons want him out. The billionaire class want him out. All the Zionists, PDFs, they want this guy out. And here's Donald Trump, once again, revealing how he's just a puppet to Miriam Adelson. It really is a grotesque love affair almost, that they're just adoring each other. Oh, she gives me so much money and showers me with political donations, and I'm up on stage getting to be president. All I have to do is do some favors. Oh my God, so wonderful. Well, here's what he said then.
Miriam, stand up, please. She really is. I mean, she loves this country. She loves this country. Her and her husband are so incredible. We miss him so dearly. But I actually asked her, I'm going to get her in trouble with this, but I actually asked her once, I said, so Miriam, I know you love Israel. What do you love more, the United States or Israel? She refused to answer. That might mean Israel, I must say. Miriam, stand up.
I guess that means she loves a foreign country more than the United States. I guess the best thing we could do is take her money and do the bidding for her. That's the best thing we can do. The best thing we can do. Again, like it's so amazing that they just allow this. They just allow this. But if that was, what if that was a Russian diplomat, a Russian dual citizen, or Qatar? Because that's the new pointing the finger direction. Everything's Qatar. Or do you say Qatar? Qatar, same thing. You know what we're talking about. Tucker Carlson is taking money from Qatar. Imagine if that was a representative from that. But no, because it's Israel, and because she's a dual citizen, and it's just okay. It's okay. Stand up, Miriam. Just stand up there. Show yourself. Show the person who bought me out. Wow. So that, again, this should all be a mask-off moment to understand how the political system truly works. And here's Times of Israel saying Miriam Adelson gives $100 million to Trump campaign, making good unreported pledge. Gift from the prolific pro-Israel donor is the largest among new batch of major spending disclosures. Eclipses the $75 million that Elon Musk recently gave to a pro-Trump PAC. So it outpaces Elon Musk. Think about that. And what did the news media focus on the most? The bromance between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And then Elon Musk broke off the bromance. There was tensions back and forth. Elon Musk revealed that Trump was in the Epstein files. And then all of a sudden, Elon Musk took a little trip over to Israel and they showed him around. They took him to the sites of the Holocaust. They forced him to sing prayers with Ben Shapiro. They got him up on stage. They captured him. They captured him the same way they captured Trump, the same way they capture all these people. Because they don't give a damn about democracy. They don't give a damn about America. They don't give a damn about Republic. They care about their foreign nation. They care about their own geopolitical certainties before the hopes and whims of Americans. This is corrupt. This is collusion. This is collusion that they never talk about. Here's the Nation. The Trump's campaign collusion with Israel. While U.S. media fixated on Russia interference in the 2016 election, an Israeli secret agent's campaign to influence the outcome went unreported. So all the time that they were talking about Russiagate and how Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump are coordinating together to hack the 2016 election, this was going on. This was going on. And the reason they fixated on Russia was because they want to start a war with Russia, which they were able to do using Ukraine as a proxy. So all this has been manufactured. All of it. All of it. Meanwhile, collusion's been going on for years. There's always been collusion. There's always been foreign interference. It's not something new. It's not the Russians or the Chinese. It's Israel. It's Saudi Arabia. It's Davos. It's the WEF. There's always been interference. Stuff like this that goes unreported because the media works for the collusion. If it's for Israel, if it was Russia or China, they'll be up in arms about it. But if it's for Israel, because the Zionists bought the media, they're okay with it. And as I stated, while it is Trump making these statements out in the open, opening the flesh wound to expose how corrupted politics is, I just want to remind people that it's not just Trump. It's the entire establishment, the entire political organization. It's the entire Democrat, Republican, the entire White House is bought and captured. You have no representation. You have overlords that will penalize you if you don't stick to the status quo and stick to the agenda. They don't care about you. So, remember this? This is Joe Biden, a young Joe Biden, back in 1974, where he openly stated, while getting into politics, that he was going to, quote, prostitute himself out to the big guys. So this is a guy who knows how corrupted these institutions are. Back in 1974, knows how corrupted these institutions are. He says, yeah, I'm willing to sell myself out to the overlords. I'm willing to sell myself out like a prostitute to these megalomaniacs, these psychotic, sociopathic monsters like the Adelsons, like the billionaire classes, like Larry Ellison, like the military-industrial complex. Now you understand where the policies come from. So here is Joe Biden saying about this. This is a young Joe Biden before he even stepped in foot to becoming, I think it was a senator before getting involved with the vice president. Here's him saying this.
I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but you have to go to those people who have money, and they always want something. You run the risk of deciding whether or not you're going to prostitute yourself to give the answer you know they want to hear in order to get funded to run for that office. I went to the big...
So, He says, I'm not corrupted, but I'm going to do everything that defines corruption. I'm going to go to the big guys. I'm going to, take their money and do their bidding for them against the people that voted for me. That is corruption. That is collusion. That's everything describing corruption that he's openly willing to do. Because he knows how corrupted these institutions are. He knows that the only way to get in is to be this scummy. He knows this. He knows this from the start. Just like Donald Trump knows. That's why he pointed it out in 2016. That's why he pointed at Jeb Bush. That's why he pointed at Ted Cruz and made fun of them on stage. Until the point that they got to him. They got to him. So, keep this all in mind. That, yes, Donald Trump is currently in power. Yes, Donald Trump's openly stating this. Yes, Donald Trump lied to you about being this populist outsider, being MAGA, being, for the Americans. They're going to make things so good. He just did his announcement last night. That was just so absurd. He's a liar. But you know what? All these people are liars because that's how you get into this business. If you're not a soulless monster, a bloodthirsty vampire like Joe Biden is here, or Miriam Adelson, or Hillary Clinton, or any of these, any of these people, any of these monsters, you're not going to get into the door. It's a big club, and you ain't in it, in the words of George Carlin. So, even our public discourse here in Canada, because I know this is mostly focused on America, but I just want to show people this. I just want to show people that they're capturing all the governments. They're capturing all the Western governments. It's not just an American thing. Even though America stands proud and shouts about how bought off it is when it comes to Israel. This is from Mint Press News about Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. And he says in an interview, this is him sitting down with NATO. Says Canadian PM says only a Zionist Palestinian state can be allowed. In a recent CNN interview, new Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney stated that the only way there could be peace in the Middle East is that there's a Zionist Palestinian state that recognizes the right of Israel to exist, not just to exist, but to prosper, not live in fear. Now we can have peace unless we move towards that. Canada has been among Israel's strongest international supporters, regularly voting against bills condemning Israel for its actions against its neighbors. So they got to Mark Carney. Even though you see still bumbling idiots talking about, oh, he recognized Palestine as a state. He's awarding terrorism. You still see bumbling morons talking about that. And you still see those morons today after what happened in Sydney. Well, this is what you get for supporting a Palestinian state. I guess Canadians got to be aware of this. They captured our country. We don't live in sovereignty. We don't live in sovereignty. They have captured you. Whether it be in Israel, whether it be in the WEF, whether it be in NATO, whether it be in the people in Davos, the World Economic Forum, they all have captured these governments. Mark Carney is a puppet and stooge for them. He doesn't work for you. He doesn't care about Canada. That's why he's actively going against Canadians and doing a self-destruction of this nation so he can cash out to the bank and walk directly back to Davos, where he came from. That's what this is. That's what this is about. Talking about a Zionist Palestinian state. I talk about two things that kind of cancel each other out. And people that are still, tweeting things about Candace Owens and, saying anti-Semitic, they're either bots or they're completely clueless to what's really happening. They're completely clueless to understand that you don't have real representation, that Donald Trump is not there for you. The same way Mark Carney is not here for us. The same way that no administration is going to be there for you. Because no matter who's in control, no matter who's in power, they are going to capture that person no matter what it takes. If it's fear-mongering, if it's blackmail, if it's, dark money that they're paying into campaigns, or in some cases, like they did with Trump, possible assassinations. They will do whatever it takes to take control of these people, because that is how sinister these people are. Sinister. And this is the proof.